I need you to understand something now, and understand it clearly. You are the center of someone's universe. I'm not saying this as something vague or nice, but as a truth you might have already noticed through this person's actions. They watch you in silence, in your best and worst moments, and still choose to stay. They always choose to stay. This person is gathering courage. It's not an easy decision because it's a risk. Opening the heart, becoming vulnerable, exposing such a deep desire, it's scary. But love does that. It pushes you forward, even when fear wants to paralyze everything. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Maybe you're not sure, maybe you're wondering if it's true, but I want you to look around, see the gestures, the details. The way this person listens to you, how they pay attention to what you don't say, how they care for you even when you think you don't need it. It's not obvious, but it's real. Now, what's about to happen is something this person has been planning for a long time. Maybe in their thoughts, maybe in the small signals you haven't connected yet. It's something bigger than words can explain. It's their way of saying they choose you not by chance, but because you are the person they can't imagine living without. And yes, they are going to ask you to stay forever. They are going to ask you to transform what you have into something eternal, to take the next step. Not because they need to, but because it makes sense, because what you have is more than enough to face anything together. Now you are here listening to this, and maybe you haven't even realized what is about to happen. But I need you to pay attention, because what I'm going to say is not something you hear every day. It's something that changes everything. This person who has chosen you is about to take a step that requires all the courage in the world. And make no mistake, they're not doing it because they think it will be easy. They're doing it because they believe it's worth it, that you are worth it. And before you start doubting or overthinking, I want you to reflect on something simple. Have you noticed how this person looks at you? Not just any look, but with an attention that goes beyond what the eyes can capture. A look that says, I see you. I see who you are, I see what you carry, and still I choose you. That look doesn't lie. It isn't fleeting. It's something that has been there since the beginning, even if you just noticed it now. What is about to come is not just a proposal, a ceremony, or a promise. It's a choice to want to share life with you. To want to face the good and bad days, the ups and downs, not as a sacrifice, but as a way to live with purpose. Do you understand what that means? It's someone who is willing to risk everything because they believe in what you have. And I know you might be thinking, why me? What did I do to deserve this? The truth is, you don't need to do anything other than be who you are, because that is exactly what made this person fall in love with you. It wasn't grand gestures, nor perfect moments. It was the way you laugh without realizing, the things you say when you think no one is paying attention, and even the parts of you that you try to hide. All of that to this person is enough. So now while you listen to this, I want you to imagine the scene. She will come to you with her heart in her hand, maybe trembling, maybe stuttering, but with a certainty that you will feel even before you hear the words, because when someone loves like this, truly, there's no way to hide it. It's in the eyes, in the voice, in the way the person tries to find the right words, even knowing they will never be enough to express everything they feel. Are you ready for this? To hear someone say they choose you, that they want you completely forever? It may seem scary, and it is. It's not easy to be loved this way because it means letting go of defenses, letting someone in truly with all the risks that come with it. But that's what true love is about. Not perfection, but presence, being there, even when it's hard. And that is exactly what this person is saying when they kneel before you, or when they take your hand and look into your eyes. And don't think this is just about the moment itself. This is just the beginning. The beginning of a life where you will never have to face anything alone again, where each day will be a renewed choice of love, respect, and partnership. Not because it will be easy, but because it will be real. Because both of you know that what you have is worth more than any obstacle you might face. And now, I want you to imagine yourself in this moment. Close your eyes for a moment if you can. Imagine this person saying the words, feeling everything you feel and yet choosing you. Imagine what that means to you. Not just for today, but for the future you can build together. Can you feel it? Because it's real. More real than anything else. And that's why this person is ready to take this step. Because they know that what you have is unique. And no fear, no doubt can be greater than the certainty that you are the right person. So, when that moment arrives, and it will, I want you to be present. To listen with an open heart, because that is what it's all about. Letting someone truly in. Letting someone truly love you. And if you can do that, I promise that what comes next will be more than you ever imagined. All right, let's continue, because what is being prepared for you is much larger than any words can describe. You're at the center of something that is not just about love, but about choice, courage, and a deep desire to share life. This person, who you may already have noticed, or maybe not yet, is in an internal process of deciding that nothing in the world makes sense without you. What they are feeling right now cannot be easily explained. It's a mix of fear and excitement, because no one makes this kind of decision without feeling the weight of what it means. It's not about the moment being perfect or finding the right words. It's about the intensity of what exists inside them, which needs to be let out in any way possible. Because holding on to this feeling is no longer an option. And honestly, you might never have seen someone so nervous their heart will be racing, mind running in 1,000 directions, because they know they are about to completely open up to you. And that's scary. Not because they have doubts about what they feel, but because they are relinquishing control, placing your future together in your hands. The question is, are you ready for this? For what it means for someone to want to share absolutely everything with you. Because it's not just about beautiful words or grand gestures. It's about real commitment, about the daily decision to be together, to fight side by side, to face whatever comes without running, without hiding. And that is what this person is offering you, even if they can't express it that way at the moment. If you stop to think about it, maybe everything has already been built up to this point, little by little. Every conversation, every shared silence, every difficulty you overcame together. It was in those moments that this love grew. It wasn't sudden. It wasn't by chance. It was because in some way you chose each other, even before realizing you were doing so. And now this choice is turning into something bigger, something that goes beyond the present and starts to touch the future. Because when someone proposes to spend their life beside another person, they are not just talking about love. They are talking about partnership, building, a deep desire to make every moment, every step, every challenge worthwhile. And you, at this moment, might be thinking about everything that this implies. The risks, the uncertainties, what could go wrong. It's natural. But I want you to also think about what could go right. Think about the strength you have together, the dreams that can still be realized, the stories you will still create, because that's what marriage is about. Two people who choose to believe in the best, even knowing there will be difficulties along the way. This person believes in it so strongly that they are willing to risk everything to tell you what they feel, to put everything into words and ask you to say yes. Not because it's easy, but because it's true. Because what you have isn't common. And they know it. You know it too, even if you haven't put it into words yet. And when that moment arrives, when they look into your eyes and say what's kept deep in their heart, I want you to be present. I want you to feel every word, because they are not just a request. They are a promise that no matter what happens, you will face everything together. Not because you need to, but because you want to. And yes, perhaps you will feel vulnerable. Perhaps you will feel afraid to accept something so big. But I want you to know that this is normal. It is normal to feel afraid when something is so important. But what's important is not the fear. What matters is what you do with it. And this person has already decided to face it because they believe in you. They believe in what you have together. Now the decision is in your hands. You can choose to listen, feel, and accept what is being offered, or you can step back. But before deciding, I want you to ask yourself, are you ready to live something so intense, so real? Because this is what is being presented to you. It's not just a ring. It's not just a ceremony. It's an entire life built side by side with everything that entails. So, I want you to take a deep breath now and think about everything we have talked about so far. About what it means for someone to gather courage, expose their own feelings, and present to you the possibility of a future being built together. This is not just a proposal. It is an act of absolute trust. It is the reflection of everything you have built together so far, the conversations, the silences, the good moments, and even the more difficult ones. All of this has brought you to this moment. None of this was by chance. When this person stands before you with all the emotion they carry in their heart, perhaps you will realize something you had never thought of before. They do not have all the answers, but they have one certainty. And that certainty is you. You are what gives meaning to their world. You are what makes them want more. More love, more life, more dreams, more everything. Make no mistake, this kind of love is not common. It is rare, it is unique, it is precious. And I want you to feel the responsibility, but also the joy of being someone so important in the life of another person. It is a privilege to know that you mean so much to someone, to the point where this person wants to spend their life by your side. Think about it. Think about what it means to be loved in that way. It is not just about what you have, what you offer, or what you do. It is about who you are. That alone is enough. And I know that maybe you are afraid. Maybe the commitment scares you. Perhaps the future seems uncertain. But you know what? This person is willing to face any uncertainty, any difficulty, any challenge, if it means having you by their side. They have already decided. They have chosen you. And now, what remains to be known is, are you ready to choose as well? And before giving your answer, I want you to consider everything this means, because marriage is not just an event or a ceremony. It is a journey made of small moments, of daily choices, of being there for each other when the world seems too heavy. And this person, who is about to open up completely to you, is saying, with all they have, I am here. I want to be with you, no matter what happens. Think about it. Think about what it means to build a life with someone. To share not only the happy days, but also those when everything seems to go wrong. And to know that, even in those moments, you will have each other. That no matter what happens out there, within the space you have created together, there will always be love, understanding, and partnership. Now imagine the moment when this person stands before you with an open heart. Imagine their nervousness, the mix of fear and hope taking over. Because as certain as this person may be about what they feel, there is still a risk. They are making themselves vulnerable, trusting that you will understand what it all means. And I know that you will. Because when love is true, it doesn't need perfect words, it just needs to be felt. And when they make the request to you, that request filled with emotion, meaning everything you've lived together, I want you to look into their eyes and see what's there. Because what you will find is not just love. It's trust. It's commitment. It's a genuine desire to be by your side forever. And that, my friend, is something not found every day. And here is the important point. Saying yes is not just a word. It's a commitment. It's a decision to open your heart, to believe in the future, to trust that what you have together is strong enough to face anything. Not because it will be perfect, but because it will be true. So when that moment comes, I want you to be ready. Ready to listen, ready to feel, ready to respond with an open heart. Because this isn't just about this person. It's about both of you. It's about what you can build together. And what you have is something rare, something special, something worth fighting to keep. Now, I want to ask you something. I want you to think about the impact of this message. I want you to think about what it stirred in you. Because if you felt something, if your heart raced, or you remembered someone special, or even got emotional with the idea of such a deep love, it means this message was made for you. And I don't want this conversation to end here. Click the subscribe button right now. Don't let this connection fade away. Each video, each word is made for you, to remind you of what truly matters in life. To show you that love, courage, and commitment are still real, and that they have the power to transform everything around us. Also, leave your comment. I want to hear from you. I want to know how you feel about all of this. Have you ever experienced something like this? Do you believe that love has this strength? Share your story, your thoughts, your emotions, because when we share, we inspire. Your story might be exactly what someone needs to hear today. And please don't forget to leave your like. It's a simple but powerful way to show that this message matters to you. And more than that, it's a way to help it reach more people. People who might be exactly where you are now, reflecting, feeling, seeking to believe again in the power of love. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about choosing to believe. Believing that true love still exists. believing that it's possible to build something real, something lasting, something worthwhile. And if you've made it this far, listening to every word, feeling every sentence, then I know that you believe. You believe that love can change everything. So when that moment comes, I hope you are ready. Ready to say yes, ready to start a new journey, ready to live something that few people are lucky enough to find. Because, in the end, that's what matters. The love we are capable of giving and receiving. And I believe that you are ready for it. Now it's up to you. Subscribe, comment, leave your like, and above all, believe in love.